was
You're
telling
really
me
done
it was
with
a blank check.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I told him like, we could do.
Who owns that new Explorer? That 2012 Explorer?
Not me.
Take off 10
The
years.
black one? Oh, that's not you?
When do you take off 10
I
years?
know, I know. I saw it Monday, I said, who the hell is that? Saw it Tuesday, and then it dawned on me, shucks. So I had to tell Hurley, I told Hurley, I said it's arrived.
Did you?
Yeah.
You didn't,
He
did you?
said it'd be calling, giving you a call.
You're a troublemaker.
I know. But I did tell him.
I bet you did.
You're nice to say troublemaker. Let's start with the first one, the applicant himself. But then again,
Oh, yeah.
it runs in the family.
Comes around, goes around.
Yes, indeed.
I know that,
Oh, righty.
65.
Oh, Jeffrey?
Won't be here until 7:30, I'm sure.
Yeah, right on. Well then, everybody okay?
Yes, sir.
Alright, I guess we'll call the meeting to order at 7:04. Is that clock right? Yeah, that is 7:04. I'll be damned. Just looking at that one down there, I thought it was like 2 minutes off. Will the full board president, town administrator, me, Mo, and recording secretary Allison Valiers as well. Welcome, folks. Not a whole lot on the agenda tonight, so we're gonna just meander our way through the agenda here until we get to the 7:30 public hearing, which is the crux of the meeting. So, minutes. You abstaining?
We disagree on the agenda.
No. I'll make a motion to accept the non-public selectmen's meetings of May 7th, 2015. These were at the request of the tax collector. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Abstentions? No, just that you're missing. You're excused. Alright. You have yourself down as the acting secretary. Make another motion to approve the regular selectmen minutes of May 7th at 7 o'clock. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Alright, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any noes? Any abstentions? Hearing none. Minutes pass. Okay, you have yourself down there, right?
Yeah.
Alright. That was quick. Alrighty. New business. Don't a lot, so I'm gonna go through the mailbox real quick. Of sorts. We have a letter from the General John Stark Scenic Byway Council for the board here. They're asking us to basically vote on the three signs that they have come to as the winners of the contest or whatever they had going on that they picked. They want a final one from the town. We have till the 29th of June to poll folks, whether we want to poll this ourselves, poll, how they have it here, just by members of the select board, distribute to town staff and various committees, or perhaps make available to visitors, to the town hall, library patrons, or however we want to do it. So, that being out there, any thoughts on how we want to poll for these signs?
Well, it's hard to pull the community because we don't have an easy way to do that.
Probably by a website. Do we
We have
have
the
a
website, we put it out there, but then how's it gonna collect the data, how do you do that?
I don't know, is there any way to put like, something on there that they can click which one it's on?
Is it signs?
Yeah, these are signs for the byway, for the John Stark byway, they've got 3 choices there, and they want us to, pick one.
Yeah.
There, it looks like they're soliciting each of the towns, right?
Right. I personally, we get to the 29th, they said, like, put out there as far and wide like the townspeople.
I'm just wondering, can we put that like,
May 20th or June 20th?
June 29th.
could we, make it available here in the town office
Absolutely.
with like a clipboard and let citizens, you know, that come in to visit the owner or with, Lean and Allison to make an indication, A, B, and C kind of thing, and,
Yeah, do it at the library, do it.
Yeah.
School, you the school, I think, I mean,
yep, and then collect it up at the end
you
and,
want the kids to go in it?
sure, why not?
It's their town too.
It is.
You guys gonna meet with the school board anytime soon?
Well, that's on my agenda for tonight, we have to set a date and time,
You can bring it to them, what time?
yeah.
What do you think, Chad?
Yeah, I mean, huh?
You want to see it by
Oh,
Oh, so you're one on the fitness thing, so?
No, I couldn't go to the meeting because I had
Yeah.
a conflict. They have these meetings at crazy times.
Campsite, Kimball Pond,
I'd like to see what the runner-ups were.
police found it, the guy.
That's to say, honestly, I'm not a big fan of all those three, but
Yeah.
Well, alright, so who voted on the original? How many
the
did
council,
they,
I don't know.
how many did they have to begin with?
I know it isn't clear by reading that what they
Yeah.
started.
That's the council member
These
over
are
there.
the final three.
Yeah,
So
we're
who
getting-
voted on the final three?
I don't know
The
where it
council.
came from. Must have been
That's in the
council.
letter, the council voted on, and got the final, down to the final three. So they're asking the four towns, Goffstown, Ware, Boston, Dunbarton to vote on the final three.
It's run by Southern New Hampshire Planning Commission.
Right.
Yeah, if we could put some sort of a flyer together that people could check a box, you don't need their names necessarily, but just check a box.
Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly, we got somebody voting twenty.
That it's a sign for the byway.
Yeah. No.
You know what I mean?
It's not like they voted for president.
Yeah, but I think just to be fair to not just leave it to the three of us to.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you quit.
I know, we can, I know, they've given us
Or
that,
distributed to
Yeah.
town staff, various committees.
yeah.
That's just a suggestion, I mean,
Right.
once it's over,
Yeah.
you have any problem sending it out to more people, or?
I don't know.
Okay, I just, I did, I mean,
Yeah, so I would say put it out for
But you know, it's
distribution
like
and,
we're already on the 14th of May, this was the voting from the 11th of May, we're already 3 days late. Oh, till June.
June,
Right,
yeah, we have till June.
Yeah, okay, I get
Yeah.
yeah, we have all 6
Yeah.
days.
so if we picked, like, give it till the middle of June, because our schedule is agreed in June. So, well, I got the calendar here.
Yeah, I
Lean gave it to me.
oh, I got you right in front.
Yeah,
Good.
cause we're here on the 11th and the 25th, so we probably ought to do it for the 11th, cause the 25th puts you right down to the line.
So do it for like the 10th, so I have all the.
Yeah, so we have it here for the 11th, yeah. Yeah,
Well, I
then
mean, all it is just basically just tally it up.
just tally it up, yeah, that's all we wanna do, and
Yeah,
then
we'll
whatever the
announce-
tally
we'll talk about it
is.
at the meeting.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
As long as you get it out there.
Okay.
We put it on the website, so,
Yeah,
people
okay.
wanna stop by, they can.
Advertise it the
Yeah,
best we can.
I'll ask them then. I'll figure something.
Yeah, we can throw a picture of it out there, and,
I can scan it, put it on
Yeah,
the
you can
website.
scan it,
so-
Okay,
Cool.
sounds good. Another thing for, going to the, what is it, the, what do they call it? Locals officials workshop tomorrow up in Conway. I'll be up there for that. I'll try to remember you guys and bring back some good information.
Thank you.
So, take my book, take the motorcycle and go. Technology meeting is meeting on Thursday, June 4th, here.
Yep.
At 7:30.
Yep,
On our days off.
Yep.
cause the selectmen are using this hall and, we need a little more space.
You get crowded?
We had a very good turnout last, Monday night, there were, I think, 13 or so of us in the room. It was well attended, good, suggestions and good presentation, as I'll talk to that stuff a little bit later on,
Alright.
do the brief.
And we also got the, memo from the library trustees and board, and director. Requesting approval for 2 building projects. We want to gain valuable shelf space. We wanna take out the stairs in the southwest corner.
Yeah, I saw that, Brian, I would suggest that they already have a meeting scheduled, or at least less scheduled, something with us for the
Right, for the
11th of June, I don't know what exactly the,
Right, well, that's with the restoration committee, that's not with the library trustees.
yeah, I know that, but why wouldn't we roll those into one?
If the library trustees aren't there, then it'd be kinda difficult.
Well, could we invite them to the same meeting?
I don't have a problem with that,
Where-
absolutely.
It's one building.
Are we talking about the 11th of June?
Yeah.
I've already gotten communications from Tiffany, it's not gonna work out
Oh,
that
it
day,
isn't?
so she said she would get back to me.
Yeah.
So it's not,
Okay,
it was tentative,
then
but-
let's bring the, library trustees in.
Yeah, we can get, can library trustees join us then? I guess we can discuss that then. And the second one is, security at the main entrance, of all the locks. So they can walk in from the inside out.
Yeah, and I think that's a problem in all of our buildings, not
Yes, it
just
is.
that building. And, I know there was some discussion earlier about, keypad lock
Mhm.
kind of things, you know, that everybody would have their own code sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think as part of that discussion, we
Go to
could,
the chief,
huh?
chief, please,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know, we could have
Security
that
lock.
discussion with him and, I mean, look at that for not only that building, but this building, and maybe there's others too where they can lock it, but short term, if the requirement is to be able to lock the door from the inside, you just put a slide lock in place too.
No, you can't do that.
Excuse me?
You can't do that.
No, I'm asking, I don't know. No,
It's a public building, you can't put a deadbolt on any
oh, you can't
Well,
do
we
it?
have conflicting
Yeah.
information, because the Bow Police did some type of program for the library folks.
Yeah, they wanna be able to lock it from inside,
You
chief.
know, in case there's
You
a,
can, but you have to be able to override it.
Oh,
Someone has
okay,
to go up to the door.
oh,
It's like the school.
Yep.
You can't get in the school
Yep.
unless they allow you in, but you can exit the building.
okay,
You can't use any type of a deadbolt
Oh, you
on
can't.
any public building.
okay.
yeah, it's gotta have some type
Thank
of.
It's an exit,
Mhm.
you can't deadbolt them.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that, they're trying to keep somebody
Oh,
who's doing evil from coming in. I wasn't
No,
worried
well,
about getting out yet.
Yeah, no, I know what past
They
experience.
make all
he's
kinds
right.
of devices, electronic
Yeah.
devices or
Yeah.
overrides, but you can't put a deadbolt on
Okay.
any.
Good to
Period.
know.
Yeah, from past experience in a prior life, he's absolutely right.
Yes, no, I don't doubt it,
But,
hadn't even thought about that, being public building.
exactly. So we can have a discussion with them then. Maybe we can also approach the idea of an MOU, memorandum of understanding.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, that would go together, but, I think we ought to talk to Chief Scott too about
Yeah.
security in general.
Any thoughts there? You want to stop it?
Well, you know, I thought that the library trustees had control over the library itself.
Pretty much by law they do.
Not the outside of the building, but once you get inside the library, they have control over that, they have their own funds.
Yep. I think that's all part of that discussion, you're absolutely right. I mean, it depends, I guess, on what, are they renters, leasees, or are they owners?
I don't
That's
know,
the
when they
question.
moved in there, was there some agreement with the town? Or did they just say,
You were on the board back then, weren't you?
What's that?
No, I don't remember, I really don't.
he doesn't even remember where he had for breakfast?
I know what I had last night though. But you know,
Okay, guys.
maybe.
Hey, by the way, we'll make reference to the ground rules here, we borrowed from the profile group. Please, read them and,
Did you just say that because Woody walked in?
no, because you guys are starting to get loud.
Well, nobody knows if there was ever a written agreement when the library moved to the town hall.
I don't know.
So,
There was a committee.
Yeah, so is that
Les
something?
was on the committee.
Yeah, so is that something we could research? It should be, if there was, I imagine there was discussions at
No, if there's a
selectmen
committee, there
meetings.
should be some type of minutes, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I wasn't part of the committee. I mean, The library trustees,
I wonder if
Les,
they've been in that building.
Since what, the nineties?
I mean, just to give a starting point, that's what I was thinking.
the use of the money from the Charlie Little stuff
So,
they had and
they sold some land, right?
to the town forest.
Yeah.
Cause they wanted the gravel.
Yeah. let's hope there's gonna be something floating around somewhere. That'll be a place to start.
Yep.
Cause their library trustee meetings are the same night as the cemetery trustee meetings, so that's, a no-go for us to go visit them, so. It'd be easy for them to come see us.
Yeah, well, June 11 works.
We'll give us something to do on June 11th. Alright, I think that's it for the mailbox. So, we still got another 10 minutes or so.
You gonna discuss the town hall route before the public hearing or after? Because I really should go if you're gonna.
Town hall route?
I was
Yeah,
asked to
we
come,
can do that.
the town meeting tonight about the route, so I'm here.
Yeah, I
Oh,
invited John
that's right.
here to update us on his inspection of the library.
It's not on the agenda, I didn't remember.
General
Thank you.
business, that's okay.
Wow,
Two things.
you gotta kick me, I didn't remember.
The board asked me to contact someone to see if they could repair the damage over the
Police station?
police station. Paul Majeski stopped in, said he'd swung by the, police department and said that he could get that fixed, no problem, it shouldn't take much, and he said it wouldn't cost us more than $500, so I told him to go ahead and fix and with the repair.
Yep.
And then while he was here, I also asked him if he had a few minutes to go over the library upstairs and take a look to see if there's any,
Question.
Yeah.
I don't know who this gentleman is, who is he,
Paul
what is
Majeski works for, I don't know if he owns or a distributor, but he's Century Roofing.
he? Oh, okay.
He's down the hill.
Familiar with that
Stark
sign.
Highway South.
Yep.
He also went upstairs into the library to take a look, to see if he could identify any new leaks. He went up into the attic. He said that there were some old ones that didn't appear to be new. It was hard to tell, but he said that there was clearly, weather shield that was probably protecting, the structure itself from any further damage, so he said he could not see anything.
Right, good.
And then when John came in, I am scheduled to do the same thing, so you can report on what you,
Yeah, same, I went up there and there is a heavy membrane that must be keeping the water from coming through.
Weather shield or something.
Yeah, something, you can see it between the boards, like he said, there are some boards that are stained, mostly way up top at the peak, but you can't get up there to touch them, see if they were old or new, but there's nothing on the floor. That way, and then we shut the lights off, walked around up there in pitch dark, and you couldn't see light anywhere through any part of the roof at all. No pinhole, light, anything, it was a bright sunny day, so.
Were you up there the same time as John was?
I missed him.
Yeah, he
I
was
didn't
here.
know he was coming, I
Two
would've,
visits?
I could've called.
you were out on inspections when he came in, he was
Yeah.
going to register his vehicle, and he was early, so he went out and took
Yeah.
a look.
So, just walking around up there in pitch black, you couldn't see daylight, so that's a good sign, but you can see this fabric between the boards, which looks like a pretty heavy fabric, so, like he said, it's probably keeping the water from coming into the building.
But it's only gonna last for so long.
Yeah, till you get a big piece blown off or
Yeah.
something, but again, there is some old staining, but, the worst it seems at the peak, so I don't know if it leaked at the peak at one time. That's old stain, but you can't reach it, obviously, it's really heck up there. But, nothing on the floor that's wet, insulation didn't appear to be wet. So, I'd say it's not, because we haven't had any heavy rain.
So next time it rains, you'll go up there with, right, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. Just, it's been so dry too, so.
I did get a hold of Ralph, he said he would try to make it for tonight, but obviously he's not here, so,
Yeah, we just gotta get a hold of this architect and see if we
Yeah.
can get this
Yeah.
ball rolling before too long.
Yep, absolutely. We'll work on that.
Thank you, John.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
No problem.
I see Tom, you made it. Thank you. Wasn't sure though. Saturday, stopped by, one of the garden club was doing their work out there and, just like to publicly thank you and the garden club and all your work. It looks great out there. You guys did an awesome job. Much appreciate that. Thank you.
Quite crucial.
Do you have 18 people out there? Or thereabouts?
I think it was about 18 people.
Yeah,
Pass our thanks on to the garden club.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Job well done.
I passed on a note, did you get my email back?
I
tried-
did, yeah, you said mine bounced, tell my email?
Yeah, I copied the email address and just
Yeah.
used it, but it probably was missing a dot or. a
Maybe, I
period
don't know,
or
I looked at it, it looked okay when you sent it back, so, oh, that's okay, I did get it.
something. Tommy forwarded on a thank you note from the board and
was very well received and.
Yep.
It made the historical register on the garden club, because that was the first letter from the Board of Selectmen in 83 years.
There you
Well, I'm
go,
glad we could be the first.
very nice.
On down in history.
Well, you know, and speaking from my own past experience, yeah, I get it.
But also asking here tonight, because I know we were talking about, chipper or something, you're talking.
Yep, and a couple of
Richard
things
Woods
that,
here as well.
before we get on to that with Lee, Donna had brought up something that when we were just generally cleaning up some leaves and stuff, we always keep our eyes open for everything. And where the compressor is for the air conditioning unit for the library, that's on the ground. It was packed with leaves on the backside and some vines, gun vines.
Bittersweet is
Bittersweet
literally growing
was growing into
into
the
the unit,
compressor.
so we can't really extract
Yeah,
it.
so that was all cleaned up and extracted, but I know that there's walkarounds done just to kinda check on that type of stuff. And we didn't know, whose responsibility it was to kinda look at that on a regular basis, but if somebody's not kind of assigned to that task and it, we didn't catch it, it could have been a $2,000 or $3,000 repair job.
On a yearly basis, do we have anybody that comes and does like a,
In the past, we used the
A year.
building inspector, and it was, and Kyle, and really asked, extended that.
Yeah. So it was just something, like that day you were noticing a couple of the vents
Vents.
were
Yep.
off up in the top and, just, so that's the type of thing that we'll kinda keep an eye on when we do the cleanup, but that was one thing that we wanted to know was
Yeah, well, thank you.
that as a maintenance item.
Yep.
Needs to be assigned to somebody.
Well, can we send it to the garden club on an annual basis? No. Fine.
and we probably ought to get a company that does it professionally, rather than just. We do that.
Yeah.
Charge us hourly, and they did the winter maintenance and the summer maintenance that I had. I had Dave still remove the inserts that we have
Oh, yeah,
screws on. Just need-
Now, do we have like a punch list of things that we want looked at, that this item would be on that list?
I could add those, I
Yeah, I'm
mean,
just
I have
thinking
the ones for
somebody
my
just-
building, but I.
Just walks by and looking at it, it's fine, but
Okay.
you might add that to the list and just say, check for, bittersweet vines growing into, or leaves mounded
Yeah,
up around,
leaves,
or something like that.
When we put
Just
the,
debris in general, I
when we
think.
put the compressors onto these ones, we
Yeah.
mounted them up off the ground. Specifically for that purpose was to keep them out of the water, keep them out of the leaves, keep them
Yeah.
out of the vegetation.
So that unit's sitting just on the dirt?
That was, there's a little concrete pad there,
Oh, yeah,
but that's something that could be looked at is to elevate it up
elevated,
and put it on wall brackets like these are, so it would, be off the ground. It's gonna prolong the life of the unit.
Yep.
Dramatically, keeping it off the ground.
did you do that installation over there?
No.
Oh. You did this one, right?
Yeah, they did all 3 units here.
But, I think Tom brings up a point that we probably, I know as a select board, I don't know if you've ever been to any of the buildings and kind of done like a,
Well, we talked about that Saturday, you and I did, it was kind of on my list, but we ought to probably schedule a walk around.
We do
Kind
talk
of like
about it some on our joint loss meetings, we do a building a quarter.
it's a safety thing, not necessarily an overall.
Right.
We're looking at maintenance kind of items, because Brian and I noticed a few things over there in the library building that, could use some attention.
Yeah,
So, but that's just that building, I mean, we've got other buildings here that could probably use the same kind of, not that we're experts at it, but at least it's, we'd have 6 eyes, taking a
or
look.
more. Yeah, we did also do a cemetery walkthrough on Saturday,
Yeah.
so it's happening from one side.
Yeah, yeah, it coincided with the project that the garden club was doing, so we took the time to go by.
But we ought to think about,
And then we ran because we saw the work they were doing. I am not getting involved with that.
Maybe on a night that has a light agenda, we can,
Yeah,
I can just throw it on the
yeah,
agenda.
well, we could even try and maybe start early if we need to,
Yeah.
a little bit, we could start at 6:30 and go for the walk.
just, hit the buildings, start.
Yeah,
Go down and see just, the town pound down there and, hit the different ones and just put our eyeballs on it.
I think typically department heads take care of the buildings. I mean, I keep track on the fire station, make sure everything's okay. Jeff does the same thing in the highway
I have
garage.
no doubt you guys do.
yeah,
And Woody does the transfer station. These buildings that really don't have a department, who's
right,
looking after the town hall? So
Right.
lights are left on there, who checks the doors, who does the outside? There's nobody assigned, I guess, school board, but the other town buildings that have a department in, I mean, we figure that's our responsibility.
Absolutely.
Keep an eye outside,
Yeah.
inside, report anything that needs repaired, so.
I mean, to
I
be
mean, our
honest,
buildings aren't, you know, at least somebody's looking over our building.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not getting done at all the town buildings, it just seems to be these two buildings.
oh, these two, they're
Don't
gonna
have
be,
anybody to,
they're top of the list, but I mean, you know, I can't speak for the other two, but I mean, I've been in the fire department, the police department, but I don't think I've really ever stepped foot in the, town garage or anything like that, so I mean, it'd just be good to defer.
oh yeah, you're more welcome to come, I'm not
Right.
saying don't come.
Just
I'm
to
just
be-
saying for maintenance though,
Yeah.
we generally keep an eye on our buildings,
True.
you know,
Yeah.
like when the roof just came out, Dan
Yeah.
reported,
Yeah,
you know, that piece of metal
Yeah.
rock, or at least our buildings get somebody looking at them with the town hall. And this building,
Right.
generally don't, you know, Kyle maybe was building inspector walked around this building,
Yeah.
but, so at least our buildings be checked.
Still a point.
I think we ought to do that, and at least, you know, once a year anyhow, but, if there is a punch list of things that you have that somebody else, you know, looks at, that will actually do the work.
yeah,
You
it
know, not
usually
just look at it
involves
and make a list.
the library for the snow fence and the
Yep.
covering up the
Yep.
windows and stuff like that.
Anything else, Tom?
No, that was all, didn't mean to distract you too much from.
No, you're
starting
fine.
off with Woody. I
That's-
know Woody's just anxious to get involved with that.
No, I mean, if you have anything else, by all means.
That was there anything else we saw as far as maintenance stuff? You know, we'll be working on some other long range planning that
Yeah.
we kinda touched briefly on. And we'll kinda pull together some ideas and put something down on paper and then we'll present to you guys to start
That'd be
the ball
awesome.
rolling on that.
That'd be great, appreciate it. Alright, well, can we do the chipper real quick before we jump to the Jeff?
Do you guys, what do you wanna do?
Yeah, I gotta go water the grass, so let's do the chicken.
I mean, Saturday you mentioned some of, you have a chipper that you might be willing to let us
Yeah,
utilize.
if Woody needs it before I take it off to Rochester,
Mhm.
more than welcome to use the chipper I've got if you need to chip up some brush. Seems like it's not gonna rain enough that you can burn it.
Exactly, and I've seen the piles getting bigger and bigger, right?
Exactly.
How much are we gonna?
Which pile was it? The pile in the burn pile or the pile outside?
Well, the one
pile?
on the
Outside,
outside is.
that one, start there first.
Yeah, yeah.
Big pile, pallets.
No, it won't ship pallets. Our wives.
Oh, I'll bet it will.
Alright, guys,
Should be hard for winter.
That's good.
so,
But whenever
Bring it on Saturday.
works, you know, I'll just bring it down and show them how to run it.
Saturday.
Won't take a couple hours probably to chip a pile.
think. What, you okay with that, or is getting it chipped up?
Yeah, I just gotta figure out when we're gonna do it, time, so.
Alright, now, what's it gonna cost us to, for this service?
Maybe Woody buys me an ice cream, we'll call it square.
Well, that's in my budget.
You're not-
I don't think I have a line item for ice cream.
Go out to bid.
Yeah. So,
I'll supply fuel for them anyway.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
I was gonna say that,
exactly.
we do that,
Yeah.
definitely fill it up.
Yeah. It's got a little Cummins diesel in it and it holds, I think it holds 15 gallons and we run about 4 days on 15 gallons of fuel. So it's
Pretty
yeah,
economical.
it's probably like a gallon of diesel fuel to the whole pile.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's amazing.
That's good,
Cool.
but, yeah, I think the least we can do is, minimum is fill up your
Yeah.
tank for you.
I think we'd rather have an ice cream, but.
Well, we can.
Like, yeah, well,
I'll buy you an ice cream, guys,
Yeah.
I'll be happy to. Thank you for,
Yeah, no problem.
yeah, just coordinate with Woody on it.
alright, it being just, about 7:31 or so, we're gonna close down the regular selectmen's meeting and, go to the public hearing for the, what is it? For road projects of 2015. Alrighty. I'm gonna turn it over to our road agent, Jeff Crosby.
Cheat sheet, thank you. Alright, good, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, well, 215
Thank you, Tom.
Sure.
road projects consist of major projects. Will be putting an overlay coat of pavement on Footlawn Farm Road. We did the base coat last year, ground it up, put a base coat on. This year we're gonna put approximately 4,000 feet long. So we'll do that. The shoulder work is related with that. The next road type project of any size would be the realignment of Holmes Road onto Route 13. To finish that phase, we started that a couple years ago, and this is the last phase. Actually, it's moving it south or up the hill, so it has a better alignment, and that's approximately 800 feet long. The next project, the large project, which we actually appropriate some extra money for this year, is Burnham Lane and Grapevine Road, and that's approximately 6,000 feet. That will take care of Burnham Lane and all the way down to Tenny Hill Road. And that involves quite a bit of work, grinding the asphalt, adding more gravel, some drainage, and it's a pretty big stretch of road. And other work is our routine maintenance throughout the town of chipping brush, filling potholes, you know, things like that, nothing extravagant, just routine all through town. As they come about sometimes, you know, with potholes and stuff are ongoing. And the other thing we're gonna do is we're gonna continue working on our gravel roads, which we always do. Try to do a little something this summer every year. Last year we did a little bit on County Road and Rangeway Road, and we're gonna go back and revisit those and do a little more work there this year. Rangeway Road, we made a couple significant improvements. There was a hill that always gave us problems washing out and all that, so we did quite a bit of work there. It seemed to help alleviate that. We got a couple more sections to do there on that. Then it's the road striping, like always, crack sealing, do that. I think that pretty much
Jeff,
covers the gambit.
you spoke a little bit on, Tenny Hill Road and some of how you would redirect some of the traffic.
When we're working on Grapevine Road, we're gonna close that road for periods of time. So our plan was to put a sign up ahead of time, which typically we do, it says road closures will be starting such and such a date, from, I think it's like 7:30 to 5 or something in the afternoon. And the hope with that was to get the people that are kind of the tourists that go through there just to take that road, would take other roads. We're not gonna start it until after school's out, so that way school buses and people bringing kids to and from school, they wouldn't have to deal with it. The downside is it's gonna increase the traffic on Tenny Hill Road. And Leo brought up a good point about it being narrow in a few places, and he thought maybe we ought to put some signage up, just to alert people that, you know, caution, slow, whatever, narrow road, so we'll take care of doing that. We'll probably have to be a little more vigilant on the dust control.
That's what I was gonna ask you about.
Yeah,
What's dust control?
A little more vigilant,
Okay.
it's awful.
when, it depends if it rains or not.
Back in the day, called the farmer's mix.
Yeah. Well, again, that's
That's a dirt
the
road.
downside of the dirt roads,
It's
you
a
know.
dirt,
But-
it's a dirt road, but it
Yes.
has nothing.
You know, like when you were talking about
Yes.
diverting the traffic,
Mhm.
detouring the traffic. So are you planning on using that also for construction equipment, trucks
No,
going up or?
I don't believe so.
Because, you know,
Well, I wouldn't wanna mix those with the cars.
yeah, okay, alright, that's.
Cause
good.
it, I mean, cause
That's good,
the
yeah.
trucks are big and,
Yeah, no, I understand.
and I mean,
My-
before when we worked on Grapevine Road, I remember,
But my
dust was
point was,
pretty
what you brought up was,
yeah,
this, you know, in the middle of the summer, if it didn't rain, it's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be pretty dusty down there.
Yeah.
Like right now.
yeah, oh, it's a pretty odd spring, isn't it? Usually it's
Yeah,
not a problem.
yeah,
But,
Yeah,
but
was
so,
out in- I was out in the front yard the other day and a truck went by with a trailer on it, not a big semi,
yeah,
just a pickup truck with a trailer. Just 5 minutes before I could breathe again.
guess we should've left that rough pavement, huh? It wasn't dusty.
Yeah, it still was at our house.
Oh, it was?
We're right where it went from
Yeah, the
semi
break.
paved to dirt.
Yeah.
so I guess my question
Yeah.
is, if needs be, you might do something to try to alleviate that.
Yes, calcium.
Yeah, right,
That's
exactly.
typically what we
Yeah,
use.
right, that's what I thought.
But again, I mean, we don't like to go overboard.
Well, no,
We like to
right.
I
reduce-
think we need to go overboard,
We can put more in front of your house?
yeah.
Yeah. We'll be, all right, well,
It was
Yeah,
hardly
they
any
were
done
like
last year.
Two little, look like elephant tracks of calcium, that was
Yeah,
nice.
you gotta have a soaker hose along the road.
Believe me, they have been tempted to put up a sprinkler system out
Yeah.
there.
it
And
worked
in
a
the
lot,
morning, shoot water across the road for about 5 minutes and then do it daily.
it worked better when we still put the motor oil.
Oh, I know, I
Let you
remember
do
that.
That was a long time ago.
That would last for quite a while,
Yeah.
keep the dust down. One application, you're done. No, we can try to be a little more vigilant with that.
Have we already started doing that, Jeff, putting that
Calcium? No.
Yeah, no, should we? Cause it sounds like they're suffering.
Well, evidently it's
Yeah.
causing them a problem.
You can't walk on the road.
No,
You can't open a front or a side window because it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's never been like this before. Last year it was, but this year it's just horrible.
Just when you-
Part of the problem why would be a little bad right now is we just went through and graded all the roads.
Yeah,
And
so there's
then
a-
it dried out, but usually it's the rainy season.
Pretty s-
We
right,
don't get-
seriously
We haven't got
dry.
any.
Seriously dry,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so and when you fluff it up like that, it always is worse
Oh, it is.
afterwards.
So could we help out by doing an application now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but again, I mean, this is one of the downsides of the whole thing. And the road does get quite a bit of traffic on the weekends and stuff.
Yeah, but when the dumps open.
Yeah, exactly, they'll use it to cut across. I don't think we're gonna notice a big increase in day-to-day traffic when we're doing the road work, cause it's during the week, not the weekend. And like I said, there's cars I do notice that go through there. Either they're coming from 13 and they go through Bow and they're trying to avoid the four corners, or just, they're taking a different way. So with a little signage ahead of time, that eliminates a lot of that, so it's just the,
Especially the corner, just before the camp and ambulance
Yep.
place. People don't realize if they're not familiar with that road, that it's a pretty steep turn.
Yeah.
You hear a lot of sounds.
I can always put out some spike strips, if you wanna cut the traffic down.
we'll leave the potholes, we won't grade it.
Okay.
That'll slow people down.
Yeah. They get washboard, I guess.
Yeah,
Well, that
Yeah.
one hill going down to the power line is pretty much a washboard most of the time.
yeah, lots of
I
times.
don't doubt it.
You know, about 2 days after his team grades it, it turns into a washboard again.
On Grapevine and Vernon Lane, are you anticipating adding more gravel and
Yes.
improving the gravel base too?
Yes.
About how many inches do you think you'll be adding?
Some places we're probably gonna add at least a foot.
That'll be good. Yeah.
In front of your house,
It
that
was
was rebuilt a
Right.
number of years ago,
In
so
80
that is a,
around 84.
yes, that is
Yeah.
a more substantial base.
Right.
So we probably won't put much more than 6 inches unless we run into a problem. A little of that's kinda as we go, you know, if we
Right,
see
you
that
see.
it needs more, it's not cast in stone that we're gonna put this much, we can make more or less depending on
Yeah.
what the need is.
And you're gonna be grinding all the pavement down to
Yes.
the gravel base?
Yes,
That whole length?
yes,
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
correct.
good.
When you grind it, you gonna grind it right in place and leave it there, or you
Yes.
gonna grind it and then bring it back in?
No, grind it right in place, so the machine's
leave
like a rototiller.
Oh, you're gonna leave it as a base too?
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
it's all gonna become part of the road base.
okay. Do you anticipate moving any stone walls or getting into, you're not gonna touch the stone walls or the
Nope,
sides?
just
that
go
much,
back
your
as far
basic-
as we can.
Okay,
You know, for all intents and purposes, we're gonna try to stay right in where we are, and I don't think there's any issues there, there's no reason to really do it.
a few years ago, you talked with me about taking some trees. Are you
Yes.
still planning to
Yes,
take some of those trees and right on the side?
yes,
Okay,
and the dead ones that are there.
right.
That was okay.
Okay, the plows hit them quite a few times,
Yeah,
yeah.
over the years, and it's kinda made it crowded,
Yeah,
so that'll help too with the snow removal in the winter.
Let the sun in and let the salt do its trick.
Yeah, I don't know, these are mostly deciduous trees
Oh.
anyway, the leaves are often, there's a pretty heavy presence of pine trees to the south, so.
Yeah, the upper section near toward Burnham End, that narrows down, the tree stumps are right on the edge.
Yes,
yeah,
there's pretty significant trees there as well.
yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Yeah, and some of them are in pretty rough shape. But, yeah, that's kind of the scope of that,
Okay.
and we'll try to be more vigilant on tending those about.
Well, we'll just set up an auto downer to lean and call her every day.
Yeah.
Hey, can you get Jeff a
I'll
message?
call. This is Peggy.
That's the downside too on a gravel road, when you remove all the vegetation in front of your house. That kinda acts as a good buffer, absorb the leaves, take the dust and stuff, and get that.
So I got all those Christmas trees.
Exactly, that does help, because it kinda disperses the trees when you open it all up, and it
Well,
does just,
we're willing for you to pave it anytime you want.
yeah.
And sidewalks and streetlights, yes.
Which you want first, the sidewalks or the streetlights?
Pavement.
You know, to be honest with you, I'd love to pave it, but, we got our paved roads we gotta take care of, so I don't, that's probably really far down on the list of things to
Put
do.
that on another warrant article.
Yeah, like I said, I'd love to, cause it would make our life easier,
I
but
don't doubt it.
I don't think that's.
I'll buy an extra lottery ticket for you.
Yeah, like I said, we have enough paved roads, we gotta take care of it, so.
Some of them
Any more public comment, or do you have more to?
I had one other question too, the bridge near Stark's Pond, is that still a project
Yeah.
on the books?
Yes, it is, it's getting closer.
Okay.
I can't give you the exact day today, but we're plugging along. Yeah, it's still on the books, we have money set aside for that already.
Okay, yeah,
Be
because
appropriated.
I missed kind of I think the town meeting when that was discussed, so
Yes.
I'm not really clear on why that became a priority, for $65,000 to be spent on that bridge. I just,
Because it's a,
well, because it's within the flood control area, and, it just seems like, to me, I'm not really clear on what the reasons for doing it, does it make the fire department get to those houses faster, or police?
it's all,
or
that is a
things like that?
great
I'm
part of
just-
it, the safety aspect of it, because if you have an issue on Route 77,
Right,
that part of the town becomes kind of isolated. And occasionally, as John can attest to, there have been some issues where they've had to close the road over there.
oh,
And you can
Well-
send cars down around
Yeah,
that
during
way.
the ice storm, 77 got blocked,
oh,
just beyond, by the dike, we went to get 2 calls over that part of town, the only way we could get there was down through there.
okay,
As rough as it was trees down everywhere, but it is a safe, public safety thing.
yeah,
I mean,
But that,
Well-
makes our response to the, fortunately, we go to the ATV park a lot for accidents, so,
Oh.
the response is a lot quicker coming this way than going all the way around. But,
and with
Oh,
our
okay.
maintenance of the town roads in the winter especially, it makes it much more efficient to cut down across there to cover that side of town.
oh, plow through there?
Yes, you go down there and you can actually give those people in that those neighborhoods a little better service.
Oh,
Cause if not, again, the truck has to go all the way out to 13 and start there and work his way up.
oh, okay,
And again, I mean, if you remember, you were at town meeting this year and
yeah,
that consists of a through road, and we tried to close the road this year, and you remember how upset the neighbors got, because they said they used that road to go through and everything else,
okay,
you know, so it's kinda all part of that.
yeah,
When you have a through road, it's nice to be able to use it for
right,
safety, and again, like I said, for the highway department themselves, it's a pretty big thing. When we originally started with the bridge, there was a lot of back and forth discussion on the ownership of it.
right,
The
With the
town
Corps
was
of
under,
Engineers?
the town was under the impression that the Army Corps of Engineers owned it,
okay,
which, when the dust all cleared and all the documentation came out, they had more documentation than we did. And the
Oh.
bottom line was that after they did all the dam project and the improvements to Ray Road and the relocation of Winslow Road, that they gave those roads back to the town and the state.
oh, okay,
And with the right
I
of
didn't know
the
that,
Starks
yeah.
Pond one to flood it if need be.
okay,
There's a clause in there, because it's a certain elevation, I think it's, the dam down there is 418, and they wanted to take control of anything, I could have the wrong number, but it's somewhere in this vicinity, 418 or 420. Anything below that elevation, they own, or have the right to.
we'll have the right to flood,
Flood it,
okay,
because when they do shut the gates down there, that Stark Bridge area can have essentially what Leo
oh,
said,
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
16, 17 feet of water
yeah,
for
it's
sure.
way up there.
It doesn't happen very often, but.
Alright,
so
right,
That's
yeah,
how that kind of all came to be in that.
okay,
If the permits get approved this year, you're gonna be able to have time to do that?
Hopefully. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple, the precast thing has to be, the timing on that's a little bit of a thing, but.
Permits are only good for a year, aren't they?
No, like 4 years.
4 years?
I don't know if that one, what the exact timeline will be on that. Typically with a dredge and fill permit is 4 years. Typically,
That's the only one you're waiting for?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thought there was a few others.
no, I mean, then, the only thing is, you just have to give, when the company that does the precast will give us, supply us with a drawing for a fee, of course. us for the structural part of it, which we just have to hand over to the state, and basically what that says is, it's rated for a certain load.
Right.
The E2 rating.
Yep.
And that's just academic stuff,
Mhm.
that's all.
How wide are we gonna make this bridge? I mean,
Um,
2 lanes or just gonna be a lane and a half?
It's gonna be basically 2 lanes, but they won't be wide lanes.
Yeah.
I forget the exact dimension, kinda,
No.
what happened is we're tweaking the alignment of it a little, cause right now it's a little bit askew, so
Yep.
we're making it more perpendicular
Okay.
with the brook, and so it's, I think, there was one dimension, it was 24 feet, and I can't remember if that was the outside of the guardrails or the inside, but it's gonna be a little wider than this there.
That'd be good for the plows.
Yeah, right now it's like those walls are like a wall.
Yeah.
And this will be an open guardrail, so the snow will be over.
They're gonna be a low salt, mixed use. Area.
Typically down there, we don't use any at all, cause both sides of it are gravel road.
Yep.
And we just use straight sand,
That's right.
so it'll be, for all intents and purposes, a no salt
Yeah.
area anyway.
Well, I know DS is a big fan of, no salt, so.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Especially around water.
yeah, like I said, that's gravel on each side of it, so. That'll be the way it is.
Anybody else have anything else? You got anything else, Jeff?
Nope.
I got one question.
Sure.
Are you gonna have, time to figure out Kelsey Road if there's if something?
Oh, yeah, I was gonna add that at the end, but if you wanna talk about it now, we can.
Fire away.
I got a call from Dave Nault today in regards to, there's more posts that have been planted along there. So, we, obviously, this discussion, we've been out doing some road grading, and
Yep.
I guess shortly after we grade the road, just turned around what we usually do in front of the garage, and put some more posts in. So Dave called me and told me about it, and I drove down there and checked it out, and yeah, he's added more posts.
Yeah,
Put
still
it in
6
front of the turn,
Yeah,
yeah, so you won't be able to use the turn.
yeah, you can still turn a small vehicle around with it.
Yeah, but
No,
not a plow truck.
Well, you said till May.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he told us, so I don't know where it's at, I mean, I don't know whose court the ball's in now.
I prodded him at the town meeting in election day to get his survey, to get stuff, registered, so I don't know if that's been done yet.
We look regularly, and that would stand out.
I don't think it's something that this year we can wait till September to
No, we
tackle,
can't, we gotta start now.
because, he's been good enough to let us use it.
So I guess that's what we got, is that's what the consensus is, we're gonna move the turnaround to the front of this property.
Oh.
Again,
Well,
that's where he says the road is.
Well, I think that's what we're gonna have to do, is kinda determine where the road actually is.
Yep.
And then we, once we know that, then we can determine where the turnaround is. That is,
He's gonna stick with the,
we know his position.
it doesn't go there, he's gonna block us and make it difficult, so. The only way you're gonna get beyond that, I believe, is get a lawyer involved and sort it out and spend money on that. And if we go the other way, we could suffer repercussions from Dave, cause
Oh, yeah, we're, then if we do it, if we don't.
changing his, I don't know who's right, I really don't know.
I don't think any of us will know, and just what we determine. But I know the, laws state that the board of selectmen have the same, authority as the commissioner of the DOT for our state roads, as we do the town roads, determine where they go. So it's gonna be up to us to determine that, but obviously I think we probably ought to do our due diligence before we try to lay anything out.
I mean, as you know, he's buried us with documentation, and a lot of it's up to interpretation,
Exactly.
and I mean, as you know, we were hoping to try to settle it somewhat civilly
absolutely.
between everybody and make it work, but after several meetings and
That's,
discussions, it's not necessarily gonna,
that boat sailed.
yeah, that's not gonna happen. As far as the highway department and myself, I'm perfectly comfortable turning around in front of his house, I mean, making a turn. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, I mean, there is some arguments that the town's been turning around in front of the barns for so many years, that automatically becomes the road, I don't know, I don't know anything about what's the legal part of that. Again, like I said, I was hoping we'd be able to work something out between all of us that was good. And John can attest to this, right now, there's no good turnaround down there.
No, there
For
isn't.
fire vehicles or
Oh,
you know,
no,
public service vehicles or,
No, it's a bottleneck,
Yep.
we need to fix it. But like you say, I think we're damned if we do, damned if we don't.
Yep.
Regardless which direction we turn, we're gonna get hit with somebody's lawsuit, probably.
we're gonna make someone unhappy.
Absolutely. That being said, gentlemen have a preference when we wanna start digging into this? We've got 2 more meetings before June starts, and then we skip one. 21st and 28th, you wanna start looking at it, we start the
I say
ball
the
rolling.
I say the 28th.
28th.
I'm not gonna be here. That's a good one.
Well, we need to bring you up to speed, so maybe we ought to do it on the 21st.
Sidewalk, is that what it is?
We had a sidewalk last fall.
Yeah, but I mean,
You
Yeah, wasn't that-
You weren't there.
Tom wasn't there, so, yeah, maybe we can do that before the meeting, we can start a meeting.
I think you know,
Yeah, I mean, Ted and I know, but I mean, Tom doesn't.
yeah, but I mean, you know what he wants, and that's basically, he says the road turns and goes to Goffstown in front of his house.
Oh, we got a
And
map.
that may very well be
We got a
it.
map that shows it.
Yeah, and that may be very well it. I mean, again, like I said, I'm getting worn down.
Give me
We've been
both.
talking about this for years and arguing about it. And he did tell us what his goal is, what his end game is.
Absolutely. We know where that is.
Yeah, and he wasn't hiding it, so.
Yeah, ask the attorney and the legal questions.
So, I mean, how much money do you wanna spend on this too?
Well, I mean, I think let's, let us kick it around, get Tom up to speed,
Okay,
and then we can, draft up our questions so we can minimize the attorney's fees.
okay, sidewalk, May 21st, I'm gonna do it at 6, it's gonna take you about 15 minutes to get there.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, well, I mean, let's
Can
just
Can you make that,
for you.
Tom?
May 26th?
May 21st at 6
I'm
P.M.
sorry.
Would,
Yeah.
6:30 work better for you?
I can do this,
Or just, if you,
no, we can do that,
I mean,
it'll work.
as long as we post it, we'll probably be late if we're running late.
what?
The
May
21st,
21st,
That's next week.
next week.
next
Next
week.
Thursday.
Is it possible to get a packet of all that material that we have for Tom, so you can
So
read it?
did I not give you the,
I don't think I've
Plastic
seen
binder?
that, no.
I have one left in the office, and
Alright.
so I'll see if I can do
So
one.
we'll meet here, or we're gonna meet, where we're
Yeah,
meeting?
meet here.
Meet here? Alright, okay.
6 or 6:30?
You wanna come?
I'll meet you
6 P.M.?
Yeah, that
Whatever's
works.
the consensus of the board, which.
Yeah, that
I guess
works.
6 it is. So we'll meet here at 6 and then. We'll,
Okay.
I just have a feeling it's gonna be a long dragged out process.
No doubt.
Alrighty. That being said, we're still in the public hearing phase, any more public comments? Jeff, you have anything else we go over? You all set?
Yeah, just that Kelsey Road.
Oh, you have anything? Gentlemen?
No, I'm good.
Alright, hearing no more comment, I'm gonna close the public hearing. Thank you for your attendance, folks, and thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Some of you got a lot of work ahead of you, so good luck. And let us know if there's anything we can do to help out and make it easier for you. Except for Kelsey Road.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was
Don't go
say,
there.
I was smiling, but I was gonna say.
Let Hurley drive.
Don't go there.
I think we'll get it resolved.
Yeah, I do, but I was
I think it's gonna come down to, once Tom
Mhm.
gets up to speed, making a decision, that's it, that's how it
Then
goes.
we march forward and let the chips
Yeah.
fall.